Hello, my brothers and sisters, my fellow Nigerians. I know that what President Trump said is upsetting a lot of Nigerians, especially those in America. But I'm wondering, why are they upset for the language that President Trump used to describe Africa? Shitholes. Why are you upset? This is reality. We come from a shithole country. Let us admit it. That is the beginning of the solution. If we do not admit that our country is a shithole country, then we will not find the solution to it. First of all, for some of us who are so angry, we haven't been to Nigeria, our shithole country, for years. Because maybe if you have visited your country recently, you may not be that upset for the language that President Trump used. First of all, look at your president. Let's start with the president. Are you really sure that is your president? Buhari now is younger. After being sick for how many months, he came back stronger and younger? Are you sure that is Buhari in power? Having said that, you come from a country that your leadership, your government does not protect its citizens. Our people are being killed from every angle. And the government remains silent. Even state government remains silent. Other leadership remains silent, whether it's church leadership, it's businesses or local leadership. Everybody is silent to what is happening. Because at some point somebody have given them money, and so, or they have taken money, or they are afraid of their life. Because if you talk, you become the target and you're killed. And so nobody wants to address what is going on. And Donald Trump said your country is a shithole and you're angry. Of course it is a shithole. A shithole country where teachers are not paid for over 2 years. Schools are on strikes. Children cannot go to school to learn, to receive good education. And you're mad that Donald Trump called your country a shithole country? People kill people anyhow. Look at my village that I come from. I'm going to my village in a speedboat, and when I get close to it, I have to raise my hand to surrender. I do not have weapon, but I have to raise my hand to surrender because Nigerian army, President Buhari has strategically placed Nigerian army everywhere. So you are the target. They're pointing at you with a gun. If you do not raise your hand to surrender, they shoot you on target. Okay, that is the kind of oppressive country we live. And you're saying that it's not a shithole? A country where there are no hospitals. If you get sick, you can go to the hospital. A country where the government will authorize the army to go and give vaccination to our children, to kill them, to inject them with viruses, and they are dying here and there. And you're mad that Donald Trump called your country a shithole. Yes, we come from a shithole. Where we pay for NEPA bills and there is no light. And you're mad that your country is not a shithole. It is a shithole. If you have not gone home to Nigeria for a long time, go and visit. This is the time to go and visit. The people that have the money, even the rich people, they live in shitholes because they build these mansions and there are no good roads to drive to their mansion. It's a shithole. You breathe bad air for bunkery and fire, whatever they call it. You know, everywhere is black. You can practically taste fuel in your mouth when you breathe, as if you're breathing in the fuel. That is how bad it is. And you die. A homeless person here, the life of a homeless person in America is more valuable than the life of a rich man in Nigeria. Because if a homeless person fall on the street, and somebody sees him and call 911, the ambulance will come immediately and attend to him and take him to the hospital, and he will be alive. But you, the rich man in Nigeria, would think you are rich, that would, when you get sick or you have a heart attack, you will fly to London or wherever you go. In your own state, in your own city, there is no reasonable hospital that can take care of you, or you can even run to. Everything you run to America, you run to Europe, you run to France, wherever you want to go. We come from a shithole country. For those Nigerians who don't want to face reality, I say go home now, go and visit your country. Then you can come back and then address what Donald Trump has said. Go to the airport. You cannot fly into Nigeria and just pass through normal checkpoint without somebody trying to intimidate you and trying to take money from you. You have to bribe your way from point A to point B to point C, even before you get to the taxi driver. I come from River State. We produce the oil, and yet in my state there is no fuel. Can you imagine that? But go to Kaduna, there is fuel. Go to Kano, there is fuel. All of those places that they don't even have oil, they have fuel. But come to River State, go to Bayelsa, no fuel. It's a shithole country. We live in a shithole country. You drive a vehicle on the street, police will stop you at every stop. There is a police trying to ask you for bribe. They demand for bribe as if it's water or the air that we breathe in. You have to pay your way through everything. If not, they point a gun at you. That is the country we live. It's a shithole country. Our leaders travel all over the world. When we go to other countries, don't we enjoy the airports that we fly in? The clean, fresh, beautiful airports. Go to your country. Show me a decent international airport. Then we can talk. And every year they budget. Most nations have their own airlines. Nigeria, as a nation, we do not have our own airline. And so people exploit us. Look at how much money we have to pay to buy a ticket to go home, to go to our own country. And you're mad that Donald Trump described your country as a shithole country. Yes, we come from a shithole country. For as long as we refuse to face reality, we can deceive ourselves. You see, you're not lying to Donald Trump. You're not lying to Americans. You live here, you don't go home. Because if your country is good, you will go home. But you know why? You will not go home because you are afraid they are going to kidnap you. You are afraid they are going to kill you. So why are you making noise? Because Donald Trump called your country a shithole country. It is a shithole country. Let's talk to our leaders. Let's begin with our leaders. The people that are paying themselves money, the people that are buying SUVs for themselves, doing nothing. You will go to school and graduate. You don't have work. So then they resort to armed robbery. They resort to kidnapping. And we say, oh, they are kidnapping us. How else do you think they will live? Go to buy a bag of rice in the market. It is 19,000 naira. What is 19,000 naira? How can the common man survive in Nigeria? Food is so expensive. Everything that you need to live, the basic necessities that we need to live life in Nigeria is so expensive. We can't afford it. And so people resort to all kinds of ways to survive, just to survive. That is the kind of country we come from. And so when you travel, when you carry a green passport, nobody respects you. Because what? You know what? We come from a shithole country. So let's talk to our leadership. The problem is not with President Trump. The problem is with our government. With our government. Talk to your government. Leave Donald Trump alone. How many countries did he describe as shitholes? African countries, because we're all the same. Yeah, you live here, I live here. I enjoy the 24-hour water, the light, the good roads. I drive a decent car, live in a decent apartment. or a decent house. I have a decent job. I make money. And so I act like life, never stops because I live in America. No, go home and try to replicate the kind of life that you live here. You see, in America, we have law and order. We have hospitals. We have medical care. We have insurance. We have a social system that works even for the common man. They take care of the common people. Even if, yes, we agree, there is some sort of discrimination. It's everywhere in the world. It's built into the system. But, we're working it. But in Nigeria, can you do that? What kind of system do we have in place that even favor us? Anyone that if a governor comes to power, he only builds his own village or build the roads and houses and buy out people and kill people. That is what they do. They don't think of the other person. They amass wealth as if they will not die. They just amass wealth for their posterity. They will not die. Let me gather for my children and children and children. Just for me, myself, and I. Because the other people, they are below human beings. We're animals. Nobody cares. And you're mad that Donald Trump called your country a shithole country. Yes, your country is a shithole country. Try having a dealing with the police, or go to the court system and say you have a case. Then you will know your country is a shithole country. So let's not pretend about where we come from. Let's not pretend about where we come from. We can start now. Wherever we are, we can begin to talk to our leadership, our government, people that get in power. We do not even have an election system. How do these people get in government? You say there is an election? Really? After they rigged and killed and appoint whatever they want, pay money here, pay money there. You say you have an election system, you have a governor, you have a president, vice president. All of that, they are there in names. So you know what? Get real. Accept the fact that your country is a shithole country. If not, all of us will be home. When I was growing up, I was told that Nigerians don't live abroad. They go abroad to go to school and they truly come back home. Many of my high school teachers were, they went to school abroad. They went to universities abroad. But they came home and they came to teach us. Now, you and I will live here. We will die before we go home. Maybe after we die, they take our dead bodies home to bury at home. We will not go there because we can't find a decent job. We can't even live there. The air is so polluted. The air is so polluted. Every time we set foot there, we get sick. We live in a very clean air environment. The air here is pristine. And that is why when we get there, we get sick like dogs. Admit the fact. That is reality. Okay? So, yes, we come from a shithole country. Our country right now is a shithole country. Let's face it. And let's begin now to see what we can do. Let us come together because we are so many in foreign countries. Where are we? We're in Asia, we're in America, North America, South America, we're in Europe. Where in the world would you not find Nigerians? Nigerians are everywhere in the world. But you know why we cannot speak? Because if you speak, they will kill you. And you know that, and I know that. So this nonsense about Donald Trump, let's stop it. Because if our country is good, we will not be here. We would visit, buy what we want to buy, take home what we want to take home, and enjoy our country. Even in my own village, I don't have freedom because I have army people strategically placed everywhere, pointing guns at us. We have to surrender to go home. We have to surrender to leave our village. This is our village my village I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the city. So you see, my brothers and sisters, our anger is directed at the wrong person. We should be angry at our government. That is what we should do. Excuse me. We are here. We are enjoying this society, and let us appreciate it. Donald Trump, yes, he doesn't have the political language to describe what you want to say or to say what you want to say. But hey, the man doesn't hide his feeling. Yes, he may be a racist. Who cares? But he's telling the truth concerning your country, my country. So, are we going to begin now so that we can make things right where we come from, so our children can return home. So most of us are afraid to take our children home. How many times have you taken your children home? Tell me. Some of you, you have children, they are 16 years old, they've never touched Nigeria. What are you talking about? If Nigeria is so good, what are you doing here? So you see, we're in the same boat. I'm here too. I'm here because my country is a shithole country. So I am enjoying America. And let me not pretend about it. I love America. I'm trying not to, dislike my country because my family is there. So I have to go there every now and then to visit my family. But every time I touch down in Nigeria, I get sick. From day one until the day I leave, I am sick. Respiratory problem. I am sneezing, I'm coughing, I'm congested, all kinds of nonsense because of the polluted air. And nobody cares. All they care about is taking bribes, taking money from here and there. Everything they see. It's almost like they're angry at you because you live abroad. And they don't even know how you got abroad. But they are angry at you. We don't have hospitals. Decent hospitals that you can go to when you're sick. We have all these mushroom chemists where you go and these quack chemists prescribe medications for you. Expired drugs, and then come to talk about the kind of food and the milk that they bring in from China. All kinds of ugly stuff, expired things, fake stuff, they just bring into our country. And then you're saying that Donald Trump called your country a shithole country. Yes, it is a shithole country, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, go home and do something. Thank you. Or you can be here and do something. You can be here, acknowledge the fact that we have problems, and let's come together and see how we can solve this problem. Maybe we can start from our villages, our individual villages. Then from there, we can extend it to the city. And from there, it might become a national thing. But let's start small. Start small and do something instead of getting angry when the truth is being told. You know what? That is just the truth. Yes, it may be my truth, but I think a lot of people will share my truth. It is the truth, whether you like it or not. We come from a shithole country. Bye, my brothers and sisters. We have work to do. 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 Thank you.